Are you ready to make some progress? Do you feel stuck in your walk with Jesus? Let's talk about how we can see real spiritual progress in your life. Well, hey there, I'm Jonathan Atwell, lead pastor of CrossRoads Church, and in this video devotion, we are taking a look at Luke 9, 1 through 9. In this passage, you're going to see Jesus' ministry have enough progress that the King takes notice. As you read, think about how Jesus' methods for growing the kingdom might help you see progress in your own spiritual life. So, pause the video, read Luke 9, 1 through 9, walk through our 4 questions. What jumped out at you? What does it say about God? What does it say about people? And how do you need to respond? And then come back here. We'll talk. Well, of course, Jesus' kingdom wasn't exactly stuck, but it was time for his kingdom to begin making some big progress. He had a gospel to get out after all. So he sent his 12 apostles to tell people about the gospel. Now, you might be thinking, what does this have to do with my own spiritual progress? Well, you know what's funny? I meet a lot of people who feel like following Jesus is for nerds. We have this tendency to give people the impression that if you really want to follow Jesus, you have to become some kind of monk who spends their life sealed up in some big library studying old dusty books. Well, have you noticed that in the book of Luke we've been reading, that none of Jesus' followers spent any time in a library? You know, we kind of have a lot of it backward and upside down. Following Jesus is about being with people. I mean, look at the ratio of parties to card catalogs you've seen as we've read through Luke. Now, if you don't know what a card catalog is, look it up. It's how old people used to find books in the library. Well, now in chapter 9, Jesus sends out his disciples to multiply his message. And do you know what happened when they went out? God's kingdom came in a bigger way in their own lives. As a matter of fact, in the next chapter, Jesus sends his followers out again, and they come back just blown away by the fact that even the demons are subject to them in Jesus' name. Now, I'm not exactly an introvert, but for a long time, my spiritual life was all about knowing Jesus by reading my Bible every day. I fell in that kind of nerd category. And then one day, I shared the gospel with one of my friends who was far from God. And before I could finish this little presentation I'd learned, he stopped me and he said, "Just tell me how to get saved." And so I led him in this little prayer that said something like, "Dear God, I know that I've sinned. Please forgive me. I believe Jesus died on a cross for me and rose again. I'm ready to trust in him and follow him the rest of my life." And wow, what a moment. Man, to get to be there when someone I cared about and was able to trust in Jesus and begin following him. A little later, I was telling another believer about it, and he said, "It's kind of like getting saved all over again, isn't it?" And he was exactly right. That moment changed my life almost as much as that moment when I trusted in Jesus myself. That moment started the progress that sent me on a course to live a life of following Jesus in a way that even helps move the people around me. So, if you're ready for real spiritual progress, tell somebody about Jesus today. If you don't know how, ask another believer to help you. I promise, nothing builds progress in your spiritual life like telling someone else what Jesus has done for us. Who can you tell today? If you need help, who can you ask to help you? Thank you for walking alongside me today. Have a great day discovering Jesus.